Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org, coming to you live from paradise, Maui, Hawaii. If you're new, welcome. I have a very special treat for you guys today, very, very special treat. This is the first time Daniel, affectionately known as Blind Daniel, has been on a surfboard in a very, very long time. And if you don't know the story about Daniel, I'll put a link in the description to his GoFundMe page. But he lost his eyes at a very late chapter in his life, in his 40s. He was sighted until then, and recently got back to Maui. He is a fire survivor, lost his home at the Front Street Apartments. And without any further ado, here he is.
There we go, we're at the beach.
Now I know it's kind of a bad sunlight situation at the moment, but we're gonna have a chat with Daniel here. And see his reactions to how it was in the water for the first time. Hey Daniel, just so you know, brother, we're live on YouTube, so you can tell the world of what you thought about your first time on a surfboard.
We almost went to Tahiti.
I almost called the Coast Guard. I was a little worried about you guys.
I tell you, Sam, I battled some pretty gnarly wind out there today. But like I told the guy from HawaiiRealEstate.org, Hawaii Maui Fix is my business. Thanks for joining in, everybody. I feel like I'm shaking with all of the exercise, but it sure does feel good to get out there and baptize in the water. Be of good spirits. Have courage.
I love how you did that first little toss into the water. How'd that feel, man? Just getting dunked.
Well, it was refreshing in a way that you can only get. And the saline, I could taste the salinity of the water on my tongue after that. And I just swallowed it, feeling like it was electrolytes to go along with whatever my body needed. It was fresh and crisp. Felt way better than when I first touched the water after a really hot beach sand. There were so many sensations and conversation. We're, noticing by the time we realized how far out we were, the wind was blowing stronger. To get back in, I felt like we weren't going to make it.
I actually went and got Ryan and his Oli in case you guys needed to get rescued, because I was tripping out. I was like, uh-oh. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, Daniel doesn't really know how far he is.
I can't pay attention to what direction I'm aiming, and
right.
We just got to talking story about like cosmic Earth and how the Antarctica, and wondering if like what the potentials are and what we really know and God's creation, and we're just these biological type of things. We just take minerals and nutrients and proteins, and the systems organize it, and we have these extensions of our bodies, these doers, and these sort of like electrodes. These things are extensions of our brains, and
and meanwhile, you're halfway floating to Molokai.
We're sophisticated, right?
Did you have any idea how far offshore you were?
No idea. On the way back,
what's your guess? How far? This is Ryan.
We must have been.
Hi, aloha.
Thanks for your help. These are the Beach Boys.
We must have been a quarter mile off of shore, maybe.
I'd say you're a solid 500 yards.
Wow, yeah. It was easy to get out there, not so easy to get back.
Yeah, the wind picked up.
I felt like such a tourist.
The wind picked up right after you guys went out there. I was like, uh-oh.
And it would blow me to the side, and I couldn't tell what strait was. I had to have a beacon, a whistle of hope. And then encourage me, telling me that we're closer than we are, so I can keep going. I feel it right here. Sometimes you get that heavy cardio and you're breathing harder than normal.
Oh yeah.
I know it didn't look like much, but I feel like it was a lot more than what I've been used to doing. That was a lot. I definitely got a wake-up call right there.
Yeah, man. So does it feel good to be back on the water?
Second time down to the ocean since being returned to Maui. What a blessing.
How long has it been since you've been on a surfboard?
Whoa. It must have been approximately 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Wow. That's crazy.
We're talking COVID,
Right.
pre-COVID, COVID.
Wow. Well, man,
Yeah.
we're so glad you got
Thank
to go
you.
out there and get the gills wet. Are the gills wet?
Oh yeah, got the gills wet. Wow, that like reminds me of Keith. Keith used to hang out in Lahaina, ride his bike around, and he'd say, "Got to get the gills wet, Daniel." I heard
You
rest in
talking about
peace.
Salvation Army Keith, yeah?
No,
No.
that's Keith Salvation Army with Rascal the Parrot. This is the other Keith. Had gray hair, used to ride around on a bike, hang out on Front Street, and he'd sit there, and he was a really nice guy. A lot of people knew him. He would sit around 505 or down around across from the Pizza Co. and the galleries, and you just see him relaxing and looking out for the girls and giving good advice to people and talking everybody up. Got to get the gills wet.
Got to get the gills wet. So
Always.
real quick, for people that are just tuning in for the first time and they don't know your story, want to give them a quick, like, Cliff Notes version of your situation and how you came to be,
Where do we start?
I don't know, man, because I like people to know that, number one, you're a fire survivor. That
Well,
you
we were all born. We've never recovered fully from being born. If you got a belly button, you know what I'm talking about. You know, fires affected me in a few ways. My old address that I used to have in Lahaina, it had been burned by a fire before the big Lahaina fire. And for those of you that were there in Lahaina for the 2018 fires, you remember what that almost was. We all ended up evacuating on a Kauai at 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah, so it's been difficult for a lot of people, and I'm still learning the story. And I heard on the Rick and Mata show the other day of a friend that didn't make it out while another one was trying to get him to leave, and he couldn't get his cats rounded up enough. And what a riveting story told by Spice on the radio the other day. I was on hold, but his story just needed to be heard, and he told it so well.
Yeah, they were supposed to interview you too, right?
Yes, but that was okay. There were other people that were really instrumental and were able to do more helping. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to still be here. Life's different than the perfect situation in Front Street Apartments for me in the location across from the water like this. I'm in a place far away from Lahaina now, but Eric's gotten me back here now 2 times. And trying to use resources that are available out there to people, but not even hearing about them until they're almost gone. For people that know and the funding runs out for the program to be able to share with me. But I'm going to learn more ways of trying to develop longer term housing to get my story available, because people don't know I exist, to follow up with my temporary FEMA house, which I'm blessed to have.
So when's that supposed to run out, man?
In February, and they're considering extension applications, but there's a new agent every other time they talk to you. They don't want you to get used to any of the people and get familiar, and then they want to give the training to the people that are learning the program, and everybody get acquainted with what it's like to have to think outside the box, because they're doing everything different here, and God bless them for trying. But nobody knows what north and south is, or what the difference between their office in Sheridan Waikiki or down Wailea is compared to Lower Main Street in Wailuku. It's all Hawaii to them. They think
don't know
that
nothing.
Kahakaloa Head is Wailuku. So like they are listening and they're trying, but they don't know up from down, and that's not their fault. And if they hopefully get to figure it out. That's their MO though. They're supposed to help and learn how to fill the gaps.
Yeah.
But there's the Switch for Lahaina you're doing, and trying to get Christian and everybody their help they need to continue the program. Eric and HawaiiRealEstate.org family has been helpful for so many people. The Starlinks, boots on the ground, real time, getting resources right where they need to go. Just direct main line straight to support for people. Thanks to Lynn and the audience, aloha, for all your support. The people here are doing their best, and they're still healing. We're learning more still every day. The town Lahaina is missed, but we have so many beautiful things in West Maui. There's still sunsets. You still catch the green flash once in a while. I'd love to be able to introduce somebody to some of my favorite coconut palms that are still available on the west side of Maui. They're still beautiful places in a subclimate every other way.
And you even weaved up a beautiful rose, heart rose. Is that what it's called? A heart flower?
Yeah, heart
Pretty
flowers
amazing,
and
dude.
scepters.
The fact that you could do that intricate work still with not having any vision. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Amazing, beautiful stuff. So we need to get you in business, man. So one of the things that I think would be super helpful, right, is if you had this van, right? If we could somehow put together a van for Daniel, for blind Daniel, Then he could weave his creations and his art and play his guitar. And then tell him a little about your concept for, because you can't drive the van, but you got a really sweet idea.
Yeah, I want to build up a
couch
community.
surfing.
Couch surfers come. They get me access to stimulating and cultural parts of why everybody visits Maui, and we figure out what's on the docket. For example, this weekend is the Maui Film Festival. But couch surfers would set up the program, get an itinerary. The blind guy would give tours and explain different ins and outs of the island and culture while making little keepsakes, practicing elegant ways of making coconut flowers and different foodstuffs, learning what the others love about Maui, visiting the trailheads, waterfalls, surf breaks, and other enriching activities, workshops, yoga retreats, lectures, and learning places, etc. I play music and hand off memory sticks to punctuate others' memories in a beautiful multi-purpose vehicle where we collect coconuts. We go around sharing and talking story with people all over, visiting the coffee shops and restaurants, open mics, and other interactions with people that give us a more colorful experience and a reason to remember Maui. Memory sticks will have my music, anecdotal stories, a link to a GoFundMe for me, Eric's HawaiiRealEstate.org. Shout out to
Switchforlahaina.com, yeah.
Switch to Lahaina.com. Aloha Maui Dan Cabins, where's the button? And we'll all end up doing it. We'll all be part of it at the same time, where the people surfing my bed or couch will pave the way for the next couch surfers to arrive, and everybody that contributes, because we want to ask for people, every dollar counts. You can find a way to support either by giving to Maui, HawaiiRealEstate.org, Eric West.
Just give to his GoFundMe.
My GoFundMe.
The link's in the description.
And we should start a new one for the van or the multi-purpose
Well, yeah, I mean, right now
vehicle.
your goal has been $50,000 on your GoFundMe, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I mean, we're thankful for every penny. Don't get me wrong, but we're at 15,000, so we got a long.
But that's only because I'm blind. It doesn't say anything about the flyer and all
I
that.
know, we need to update that, bro.
So we make one for the van.
Yeah, I'm down. Whatever you want to do.
We get one of those awesome vans that is good on gas, really cool. We'll put a little hibiscus stencil on it, and everybody that helps fund it gets to come stay with me for a few days or a week, drive around. We'll go fill out an application for housing. We'll stop at your favorite grocery store. I'll write a song for you, tell you a poem, send you off on the van on your own thing when I'm recovering from all the excitement you put me through in a 24-hour period. And while I'm recovering, you're going off to spread your wonderfulness all over Maui. And while I practice the song that we write together.
Matter of fact,
come visit.
Glenn Daniel just did a new song he played for me today. It was amazing. So, dude, I can't.
It's called Hope Sandwich.
The Hope Sandwich, Poverty. What? I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag.
There's hope in the bottom of poverty.
Yeah, give him some of the lyrics,
There's
man.
love in the midst of obscurity. There's joy in the hope of prosperity. Love, joy, hope, and peace. That's the hook.
What about the destination that nobody wants to go to? That was pretty good.
Oh, there's a place you may have heard about, and if you're faced with living there, you're sure to have some doubt. It's easy to get there, not so easy to get out. The longer you've been in, the longer you've been without. And no one says, let's go there.
And it's
Poverty.
Poverty, man. It's a very poignant song, dude. It's like, it's got a little Jack Johnson vibe to it. It's got a riff that's so unique, and your words, your lyrics, you almost don't know what the next thing is you're going to say, but it's kind of satirical or funny.
I thought it was going to be funny but then I thought this is actually real.
It's deep, man.
Shouldn't be, this isn't a parody song I should write over somebody's thing. This is like, it's real. It's a real song.
It is. It's a real song. But then it's got a spirit of lightness
melancholy,
to it.
But it ends up with hope. A hope sandwich gets served up at the end.
Right.
With all those good reliable notes.
You got to eat, and if you don't like the sandwich, guess what? You still got to eat, man. You still got to eat, right?
Love, joy, hope, and peace. Yeah,
everyone's got to eat.
Thanks for being my audience.
Daniel's got to eat, man. So if you could hook him up, I got a GoFundMe page link in the description. We're trying to raise money for his Costco bill for his van that's going to come. I can feel it. And of course, he is a worker at the Switch for Lahaina, and we need to get them hooked up on the beef. I mean, I gave you a sampling of the beef.
You gotta
but
try that Angus beef. They got a place Kauai. They can ship island wide. They can do the mainland for you. The beef is really the ticket.
It's the ticket.
Sure, you can get the starter pack home conversion kit and see which things are really going to resonate with you. Everybody's going to be different. I can't suggest one thing or the other. You want to see what it's all about? Come sleep on my couch for a couple of days and open up some of these boxes that I got the home starter kit. That comes with the fringe benefit, you know?
There you
First
go.
come, first serve. You get to see what it's all about. Try everything without even having to get it yourself. You want to get it, go for it. But I can already recommend the beef. Tastes good.
It's amazing.
Especially if Eric cooks it.
Yeah, man.
I'm just lucky.
We got the Traeger warming up as we speak back at the house. So
Try to have a good attitude.
Do you want a filet mignon or do you want a New York? What are you thinking?
Well, I've tried the burger that you did with there was an herb blend you put on there.
Yeah.
And I tried a Kobe burgers from since then at a special occasion, and it doesn't have anything on that Angus beef that came from the Melaleuca link. Which one do they call it?
Riverbend.
The Riverbend beef.
Riverbend Ranch, baby.
They've paid attention. They've made a good product.
Yeah,
it tastes good.
Unbelievable. They have like a 99.9% reorder rate or something ridiculous like that. It's like the crack cocaine of beef. Once you get on it, man, you cannot live without it.
Depends on I don't know how much how they cater to you, but you get a discount with other things by trying to order with. They're linked up with other things for something like tea tree oil. We're not supposed to say it on TV. It's like the word of the day. You got to blank it out. But
just go to switchforlahaina.com. You can put Daniel's name.
Lahaina.
When you set your appointment, put Daniel's name down there, and we'll make sure that anything you do, Daniel benefits directly. And also his GoFundMe is there as well. But dude, any final thoughts about this little surf session, man? Anything? Because I think it's pretty amazing that you had the guts to go out there.
Yeah,
completely blind.
I had confidence.
On a surfboard.
It was a false sense of security when I thought it was going to be different. I got a little bit more than I bargained for. I'm happy. It was a great way to practice today's message. The lack of fear, it's being a master of fear.
Yeah, right. It's not a lack of fear, it's the master. You be a master of the fear. You tell that fear to be replaced by your faith, and it will. It has no choice.
Be of good cheer and rise up. I got goosebumps when I heard you say that today.
Hey, we froze up the app somehow, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
we were preaching the fear factor.
Time warp.
YouTube blasted. They stopped us. The powers that aren't. The dunamis power of God shall overcome, overwhelm, and completely and utterly defeat every weapon ever formed against each and every one of God's children.
Hallelujah.
Well, thank you, Daniel, man. As always, it's a pleasure and honor to have you in our presence. You are a YouTube sensation in the making. Because if anyone's got the gift of gab, it's you. Joe Rogan's got nothing on you, my friend.
Except a pretty fierce leg kick.
Because you can pick a guitar, you can recite a
Sorry,
poem.
Joe, I don't know what he's talking about. Bubba.
And of course, we're.
I like your guests. I like your concepts. I like your open-mindedness. You kind of freak me out with a few of the things you advertise occasionally, but no, hey, I'm not challenging you, sir.
And belated happy birthday to you, Daniel.
Come to Maui.
I know it was about a week ago or so, right? So belated happy birthday.
Recently, yes.
And I know people are going to give to your GoFundMe. They're going to help us buy this van so you have transportation so we can make the couch surfing dream
Say
come
something
true.
nice. I know it requires a lot of your time already to get on there to the GoFundMe. I wish I had an NFC tag to hold up to the camera so you could just go ahead and scan the NFC tag in my hand. I'm working on it, but I'm so far behind, I don't know which way to look first, and I can't see it when I do. So I know it requires your energy to log into a GoFundMe, put in your email, and decide you want to give $1 just so you can say that I'm somebody that's nice. If you know me, say something nice about me on the GoFundMe. It really helps. I'm going to try to put a new one up there and invite our couch surfing family to come visit, eat some. We're going to break bread together. We're going to find something interesting for the week to do. We're going to be better for it. We're going to cruise around Maui no Ko'oi, around Maui. It's still here. This place, it the sound of the water. This is really happening, and right now I can't see it anymore, but
But you can feel it.
I'm just so grateful. Been through a few things. We've all been through a few things. You don't even need to do everything else. Just thank God for what it is you have. Look at what it is that you have already. It's so much to be grateful for.
Did you ever think you'd be back on Maui, bro? Did you always know it would happen, or was it?
I think I'm somebody that wouldn't take no for an answer. And it was something that I needed to do, and I feel like I'm getting the nod from God along the way, that continuing on, there's been a sign of miracles and accidents and mistakes that happened that got me through to another place in order to observe and appreciate where I've been, and every other little practice with the guitar and things that I'm doing with music, little inspirations and even lack thereof, and taking the pace and allowing God and the Holy Spirit to set the rhythm, and just admiring God's work and things, because really it's like I'm like everything I can conjure up, friends, physical, mental, is like 49% all added up. It's at least 51% what God and the natural can happen. It doesn't have as much to do with me as it does. I'm letting it happen, and I'm moving my feet, and so I'm asking God to guide my feet.
Yeah.
While
One
I'm
thing
moving
I've
them.
really observed being around you, dude, is like it takes so much trust to be in your position. Like we walk by faith, not by sight, but you literally live that in the most deepest, profound, practical way. Like a lot of us struggle with answers not coming, and you can't see things that are going to happen, but you literally have the physical inability to see. You must walk by faith, and you have to put your trust in God at every second of your day. It's really humbling to see how you handle it, and it's hard to even fathom what it's like on a day-to-day basis, and the grace that it must take, that you call on to deal with it. to be
At
honest
least
with
it's the troubles we have. I'm looking at that as a blessing. Here we go, Eric. Look what we have. We don't have the burden of being infinite and eternal and God. Thank God for that, for being God and us not having to be God. All I got to do is live in limitation and acknowledge that I'm an extension of the intentions of God, and He has good thing. God has good working with Him and the forces that be, and there, because it takes the community, and there's messengers, there's warriors, there's support all around. I want to give thanks to every entity that's involved all along the way. Hands-on, somebody on the phone, somebody that's listening to prayers. The brokenhearted are nearest to God.
you. Amen.
And if you're seeking it, then you'll find it. Find the goodness in God. It's there.
Does it ever frustrate you or make you a little, I don't know, I'm just going to be real here. Does it ever piss you off, people that are complaining and bitching about certain circumstances in their life that are so minute or so minute in comparison to this mountain that you have to climb every day? I mean, does it ever just get under your skin a little
I
bit?
tell you, Eric.
Come on, dude.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, the muscles in my face are a way to gauge just which ones are activating in the moment when I'm not really attempting to make any certain facial features. But I start to get this weird face sometimes, and people are complaining. To me, it sounds like vacation. Really?
Like, seriously?
On trade?
Yeah.
Like trade?
Like they're having a bad day, or they're grumpy, or they're whatever. It's like, if I was in your shoes, it would just be so hard for me to be like, shut your face. You have no clue what it's like to have a real challenge. You don't have a clue. You should just be smiling from ear to ear that you don't have to deal with 1/1,000,000th of the issues that I have. Just looking at my phone is like impossible.
I just live vicariously through that. It sounds like a good story to me, and I just like to encourage them through that. Because sometimes everybody has from their own understanding and learning. And so it's something that I can take from, and I can even appreciate. Sometimes it does just sound like fun to me.
Yeah.
compared to everybody has their own cross to bear, and whatever we did, we don't take as much abuse as we think we did. We're not willing to do as much for our brothers as we really can do. And I have a second chance of everything I went through in a long hospitalization. I realized, and I'm glad I had this experience. It felt like I was communicating with liaisons to God, and I got a message, and it wasn't in English. It was this vibrational thing. I got the chance to know that it matters. The love for yourself, the love for your brother, and loving God and loving people, your state of mind, your mentality when you pass from the physical into the spiritual realm, when we eventually one day get to think what we know of, and compared to what real eternity is, compared to what our limitation can try to understand. We have a word for something and we say a few syllables and we think we know what it is. There's more going on. There's people watching. There are spirits. There are powerful things watching, and more going on than we think we know about. And we have a chance to make a difference right here. We're here in this dress rehearsal. This is a learning experience, but really we're not even in the real show yet. What do we have? What do we have? Not that long.
Yeah.
Eternity, you can't compare from our perspective. So people's little stories, sometimes the big dramas. I mean, I heard Spice on the radio tell the story the other day that brought me to tears. I heard somebody telling stories the other day that were real from 10 years ago, and they had to just mention some truths about somebody that I knew. And sometimes the truth, man, it can just really get to the inside and you can feel the emotion. But today I got goosebumps in church, hearing about rise up. Take up your bed and rise up. Come to the water and drink for free. They're those that touch the robe of Jesus, and they had the faith that didn't need to be bumped into Jesus or what. Those that got to walk and see the miracles, and what are we? We're so far away, generation after generation, from the hand-me-down storytelling knowledge that we think we know something. We got a lot to learn.
So if you were to look at your life before you lost your sight, now how old were you when you lost your eyesight?
I turned 40 just a few short weeks after it. I was in the hospital still.
So you were sighted for 40 years, and now you've been blind for 4 years.
Yes.
And I don't know the best way to ask this question, but your encounter with the supernatural, your encounter with God, your encounters with Jesus, how much more profound has it been since the event versus before? Can you touch on that at all?
I realize the community, the Christian community, the Hillsong United, Love Me As You Find Me, and the emotions and the kindness that I experience. Life is, and I grew up going to church and knowing Bible verses and things, but it hasn't ever had an effect on me the same way as what I went through in this unimaginable reality, living with it like it's real, getting my memories back and realizing what actually did happen. It's been to know what I went through. The community and people that were the best to me gave me a whole new appreciation for the brothers and sisters that in the church, the music and stories about being Christ-like, the commandments, love God, love people. But I know it's like sometimes you might hear that talking behind somebody's back's not good, but you can gospel about people all day and it's fine. You notice that it's okay if you want to sing songs or quote the Bible and you want to, there's no such thing as, what do they call that when you take somebody's words and then you use them as your own? Plagiarism. It's okay to do it with the Bible.
Yeah.
You can write gospel music, plagiarize the Bible, sew it all up into one beautiful little knit there, weave it together with a story and a moral, and people want you to do that, and it's beautiful. We heard CeCe Winans today. If you don't know CeCe Winans, you got to check out that voice.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Lauren Daigle, Fingerprints of God, Hillsong United. The Fingerprints of God song's fantastic. Where would I be without some of the music that was, you know, it all comes down to this: love God and love people. That song, some really good songs out there that,
So the praise and worship carried you through?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and it was a difference between trust and recklessness. I had to get reckless enough without support to wander away from home and find church on my own.
Wow.
In a place where I kind of knew where I was, which was lucky enough coming out of the hospital. And I've been put into environments since then after an eviction and the house sold, needing to find my way, family going their own way, dealing with threats, harassment, sounds in neighborhoods and dangers and other types of things you don't want to go through, and then being blind and having the house broken into and somebody coming in and attacking me and hurting myself more on top of injuries I sustained before and whatever happened to me. But really coming back from it, doing more dynamic exercises. But yeah, like the type of movement and Dan Brimness, artists, songs, and some of the best songs that I think there's the healing power of music and the Holy Spirit in it. My mom's best friend that I've been in touch with through social media. There's a long list of those that I thank and owe to my agent, Alice, Eric West, HawaiiRealEstate.org. I'm a spokesman for the Holy Spirit here. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty much just blessed, even though, I don't know, that's an attitude I think I want to have. I literally got to thank God and ask for a ongoing good attitude and ability to continue. I think every breath, every bit of this life, I mean, if I could get back to Maui, somehow I've been lucky enough to get to cruise around with Eric and listen to him talk and what he says, and he puts the spotlight on me and other people like Fish. But he has so much on his plate and on his mind. For me, you know, nobody wants to spend an hour in the car with me. He drove an hour just to do that and then share with me more part of his world and his family and let me interact in a personal level, which is so valuable to me.
Well, we get all the value out of it, dude. Trust me.
You want to come over?
Hey, I think everybody, you should be a destination on Maui. You should be like the one of the greatest people that you could ever talk to, interact with, listen to. You know, it would be a real honor and a privilege, I think, for anybody to come over here, couch surf with you, cruise on the beach in your van, listen to some ukulele,
exchange some ideas,
go crack some coconuts, right?
See what the modern day nutritional program is, metabolism.
Exactly.
Figure out what other people have learned and make a study of
healing.
Things.
Like, you could heal people, dude. The way you eat, your diet, everything. The way you cook. You're an amazing chef. The stuff that you can cook and you can't see any of it, it's crazy, man. Like,
I'd like to help develop systems for others to have their own format. They can do their sprouting, their fermentation, how to use counter space. And I'm doing it without being able to see, so I'm figuring it out all the time. And I'd love for some others to come through here and enjoy what they can and help me find more elegant ways of doing things. I'm still new in all this. I'm still just a toddler. I mean, maybe more of an adolescent now, but I feel like I've come through being a baby and a lot of practices. There's sourdough bread practice I'm learning, and I've added more sourdough, different local bacteria here to the starter that I have. You know, I have the third layer of kombucha from the kombucha Eric bought me one day when I was first getting back here.
the SCOBY's going?
I just took the second layer SCOBY off and added beet juice and some leftover food, oranges from a camp where they left their camp food, and I ended up getting it because one of my best friends works at a camp where they had food left over, and he gave me the 5 micro oranges there, and I use that. I'm going to eat the peel that I boiled, dry it out, and have my little citrus, but then I add the juice and beet juice and water and 3 or 4 dates to it.
I think if someone came over here and just spent a week with you and just followed your diet, they'd get healthy.
I'm working with the lycopene and stewed down tomatoes right now and extra vitamin C, trying to make my skin healthier and not be as affected by sunlight because I get skin cancer and blemishes and things that I'm working with a dermatologist and trying to establish care here.
That was too
on
many
island.
years surfing on the
Yeah, a lot of sun. And before that, snorkeling, growing up in the Gulf of Mexico with my beloved family, getting a lot of sunburns, trying to learn how to do construction and roofing, and just blistering sunburns as a child and teenager before I even got my first surfboard at 21 years old. I started surfing after making fun of somebody for even having a surfboard.
Wow.
And they were like, hey, come on out, I'll take you out. Oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, there's no waves here. Sure, I'll take you out next time there's just a little wind swell or something.
And you got pounded.
Almost drowned. It was freezing cold. I was like purple when I came out of the water, and I was so challenged. But in a way, I was really attracted to the challenge, and realized that it wasn't easy. I'm not as cool as I thought I was, and then developed a passion for it. Changed my life. Turned it around. Within a few years of that, I was exploring ideas of travel for surf. Came to Maui, stopped drinking alcohol. My life just got better and better, and it made improvements from that. So I realized maybe I was an alcoholic, and then got in with more mindful and conscientious people, doing some acrobatic stuff, handstands on the beach after surfing with a friend one day, and then doing a forearm balance led to my friend taking me to my first yoga class for my birthday because I did some forearm balance that it was surprising that I could do that. And they were like, I didn't know you did yoga. I was like, I didn't know that was yoga.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, and just you spend time on Maui, you're going to bump elbows and brush elbows with other conscientious people. And it really does improve your mentality. If you can make it here, it's going to be the time of your life. You're going to get confronted with yourself. You're going to either have the best time of your life or you're going to have struggle, and then go back with an education. You definitely do get.
Oh yeah, dude, the energy here accelerates everything. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put it into words, but Maui ejects a lot of people too. They just can't. They can't handle it, and they just get sent home. They just get sent packing. And like you said, they learn something, but it's intense.
When you get here, do you think, oh, you got a better way of doing that? You don't realize that they've been doing it that way for a while, and this place is doing fine without you. And
Right.
the way you can do things better. That. Tell you what, though, too, you're right. If they had a Costco on the west side, we'd never leave.
That's right. We would never go to Kahului, ever. We would never go to Kihei. I mean, the west side is hands down the best side, which is why they want it so bad.
Okay, I got one question for everybody. I need you to put in the comments the reason why that Tide, All, and those other companies where people complain about how sturdy those containers are and then just throw them away anyway. How come there isn't some regulation that gives incentive to those companies for making refill bins for all their detergent? And we just refill them over and over because they could get used again and again and again, right?
Yeah.
How come it isn't required to have refill bins instead of buying new ones?
Because of special interests, lobbyists, and corporate America runs the country essentially.
What do you do, the most aloha infused audience on the planet? What's your version of the reason why it's not required to refill our laundry detergent tubs?
And that's one of the reasons I love Switch for Lahaina, because they have concentrated laundry detergent with much smaller containers. They just add less water, and you can just do one pump, and you have the same concentrated amount of material for your laundry detergent, your softener, your whitener, all that stuff. So they've kind of tackled that issue with much, much smaller containers. They're probably 1/8 the size or a quarter of the size or something like that.
They make those things so thick and sturdy. You can almost stand on it.
Yeah, you can almost build a house with it.
Now you're talking little hempcrete and some Tide containers, and we got a foundation. All right, build the man cave.
All right, well, we're gonna. I don't know about you. I
think?
don't know about you, but I can smell someone cooking steak, and it's killing me, man. How about you, dude? I am starving. Should we go?
I
Put
feel
that.
like I'm about to collapse.
We've been standing in this ocean. All
I
right,
can, I
we're.
can stand as long as I don't have to paddle into the wind. You can't tell how windy it is when you get out there.
Oh, yeah.
Maui no Ko'oi Makani Aloha is blowing out there, and we almost got blown over to Lanai
Yeah,
today.
we'll do a quick sign off. No.
What do you want me to do?
Almost
Push the
there.
button?
Right
Again, where's the button?
Here we go. All right, guys. The sunlight, the Maui fix would normally start right about now, but Daniel brought us the Maui Daniel surf fix and a beautiful interview. Thank you, Daniel, as always, for being a part of the channel. Love to encourage everybody to hit him in the comments. Find his GoFundMe link. I got in there for you. SwitchForLahaina.com. Support. We need to get a van for this guy. We need to go to Costco for this guy. And if you don't know his story, please learn what happened to Daniel at the young age of 40. Lost his sight. Now he's dealing with total blindness, and it's a very challenging situation, but he's making the best of it. And God is moving, and we're so thankful for the church, the people, the brothers and sisters down here helping the best that they can to make a difference in this man's life. He's a special human being, and amazing things are coming, I believe, from your being now positioned where you belong, which is on this beautiful island. And I can't wait to see what's next, man.
You're a sweetheart, Eric. Thanks for saying such nice things. Aloha, everybody.
Until
Come
next.
visit us soon.
Yes, come visit soon. And like I always say, I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you one thing. It'll be from the most beautiful place on earth, the best lifestyle I think you can ever find. And do it and experience it with Blind Daniel. Next time you come, we're going to put the program together. We're going to get the van. And people are going to hang out and play ukulele. And before you know it, man, maybe we'll be in a big fat barrel at Honolulu Bay. Okay, maybe not, but hey, we can shoot for the moon. We can shoot for the stars, and if we hit the moon, we're okay with that too, right?
Right. Well, just maybe we could just get a little session down there, the guardrail between Launiupoko Puamana.
There we go.
You guys know what I mean. Take them easy. Get me out of the house once in a while, then go be footloose, fancy free, and enjoy all Maui can be.
That's right. All right, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. The shadow ban is real, but we don't care because we got Jesus on the throne. Until next time, Eric West, Blind Daniel, and Maui Dan, where's the button? All right, see if you can find the button, Daniel. See if you can find it. I know this could be tough. Come on.
It's
You
up
can do
here.
it. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. You can do it. Up, you got it.